Howdy, howdy, howdy. I am Helen Terry here at the Soma Ranch studio in Montgomery, Texas. And we just finished class where first of all, it was an adapted experience. There's an original NEAR technique class that was designed by Carlos Ayarosis, one of the founders of NEAR, called AO, which I also see as being shorthand for Alpha Omega. And the general focus of that was connecting with flow and bounce. And Carlos developed this word, flounce. And so for me, it's one of those comfy sofas that I love to return to again and again. The moves are beautiful, and there's this liquid connection from one song to the next. And I really have a sense of, as this is in the body, so it is in life, that we can connect with bounce and flow to have a deeper sense of flounce, yeah, integrated flow bounce. And then what I did today in class was adapt that choreography into a new experience with new music by Sade. A reason I chose Sade when I was looking for an adaptation is I was looking for music that for me really showed strong flow, strong bounce, and that integrated flounce. Um, in England, we have this substance called treacle. It's like a molasses, honey kind of thing, yeah, a sweet, thick liquid. And for me, Sade's voice is like treacle, a low tone, a sweet tone, a full tone. And she has this way of weaving her voice very much integrated, flowing with the music. And then underneath that, the music that supports her voice is strong. There's a strong bass guitar, there's strong bass and rhythm, and there's this very oompa kind of rhythm, like a heart that is underneath her flowing voice. And I find Sade in general to be a beautiful flouncing experience. And then there's this album that she created called Lovers Rock, which I love from beginning to end. Um, and so that is how this whole experience came together. It's Sade, lovers rock music, put to some choreography of the original NEAR experience, AO. And the focus was flow and bounce, particularly looking at from the earth to the sky and from the out to the in. And what I'm doing there is bringing this dynamic of contrast, how the reality is I'm connected with below, above, out, and in at all times. Yet when I integrate and focus my eyes and my attention on one thing and then another thing, particularly the contrast, and then I come back into an integrated state, then I have the potential of a deeper felt sense of integration. And I literally, at the end of a class like this, I feel less isolated, meaning I feel less isolated between my mind and body, my heart and soul. I feel less separate as a person on this planet. The reality is we each as a human being are a complete individual nested system. We're integrating many different systems that make up our whole, and we are like a complete individual whole. And yet then the reality is that we are not separate from others. We're not separate from the universe. We are literally, each of us are an essential, I like to believe, integral part of this huge whole that we can call the universe. And for me today, that's one of the main reasons that I was pulsing in class is I'm here in Texas, yeah? And yet there are things going on in California where my heart is feeling pulled. I have friends there. I'm seeing some things on social media from other people, and I feel separate yet connected. I feel helpless, yet wanting to look at how can I help and connect with this system. And when there are people in one part of the planet who are hurting, who are in pain, who are in challenge, then our whole system, yeah, is being affected by that. And so for me, consciously, even though I didn't specifically bring that up in class, I also hope that this movement is medicine and this movement is a prayer, yeah, that I keep thinking when I come back to, like, oh, individual friends, or like, oh, that community in California that is like, it's devastating what's going on, that I can look at how can I flow with this so I can function, but also how can I flow with this to look at how I can help and like, what do I need to do? What do I need to stop? Where do I need boundaries in my mind? And where do I need to just encourage myself to oomph a little bit more? All of that for me is the dynamic of bounce, yeah, of do and not do and come and go and start and stop, yeah, the agility of that. And so then by the end of class, hopefully I and everyone in class feels more integrated and more whole. And that means as we step off the dance floor into dancing through life, that we are more equipped to, quote, flounce. And if we're a bit jumpy bumpy, which is my personality, I step out with a little more flow in my attitude. And other people who are more flow, hopefully they've got a little more oomph, a little more bounce today into their step and into their life. So that's a little background of the class that we taught today. Let me know if you have any other questions, and thanks for listening.